After finishing off applying the color, I let it dry for about 60 minutes before moving on to making a template with some masking tape of the hood so I can make a nice carbon fiber decal and give it that carbon fiber look. I'm going for a bit of the street drifter, track day, weekend drifter car theme with a Rocket Bunny body kit, of course, so that implies I need carbon fiber to my eyes. So I made the template and then moved on to applying a couple of decals, cutting out the carbon fiber decal and applying that as well. With the template now made, I transferred it to the carbon fiber decal from Scale Motorsport. I have a link in the description to their site, and then cut it out carefully along the lines and started applying it. I first laid down a nice coat of Decal Magic to help the decal set and form to the hood a lot better, and then started applying the decal, giving it some heat and also removing most of the moisture with a Q-tip cotton swab or just a cotton thing on a stick. You know what I mean. So I just applied that decal to the hood and started working it. The footage of forming the decal to the hood is obviously sped up a huge amount. Now I do have this footage uncut and unmolested, if you might say so, and if you guys do want to, just let me know down in the comments below and I will upload an uncut version of me applying this decal. It's about 15 minutes of work, and for the guys not really knowing how this works, this might be a good video, but if most of you don't really care about it, that's also fine. I will just leave it at this. But if you do want to see it, let me know down in the comments below. So 15 minutes later, the hood is now made out of carbon fiber. There were a couple of decals that I wanted to apply from the kit, so I applied some Decal Magic as a base as well, and then applied the decals on top and formed them to shape. So in part 1, a lot of you guys noticed that the license plate frame was completely off-center because of the filling I did in the bumper, as it was a bit too small. Now I am completely aware of that. It was a stupid mistake. I should have added, or at least cut the bumper in 2 pieces and added that center piece in the middle to line it up perfectly, but even I make mistakes. You guys know that. I am human. Yes, I really am not a robot. Yes. So I still make mistakes. After applying all those decals and complaining over that license plate frame that is not in the center of the rear bumper anymore, I moved on to letting that carbon fiber decal and all the other decals dry for about a good hour, gave it a bit more heat. I should have let it dry for another hour or maybe even longer, as it wasn't really fully set and some of the decals bubbled up a tiny amount on the side of the car after applying the clear. But that is my mistake, not a real big one. It's not super visible, but it's stupid. I was impatient and I should have waited a bit longer. But with that all said and done, we of course have immediately moved on to applying the clear, first to those hard to reach, easy to forget spots as always, and then moved on to applying a light coat on the rest of the body. While applying the clear to the trunk, I noticed a small piece of dust fell in there, so I removed it first and then moved on to finishing that coat off. So the first light coat is now applied, and you can still see a lot of orange peel. That is completely fine. Just set it aside for about 5 minutes, top up the airbrush, and come back in 5 minutes. After waiting those 5 minutes and letting it cure for a bit, we applied the second coat in the same manner as we did the first coat, but then a bit thicker, moving a bit slower and getting the coverage a lot nicer and smoother. With that second coat now applied, you can see it's a lot smoother already, but still not to my liking. So I set it aside for another 5 minutes, topped off the airbrush again, and added a tiny amount of extra thinners to the clear coat mixture, making it a bit thinner and making it a lot easier to smoothen out and get a super nice glossy finish. So after applying 3 coats of clear, everything looks good. I noticed the roof and the hood needed a bit more, so I applied a quick little extra coat to those pieces, and that was it for the clear coat. So after inspecting it and being completely happy with the way that it looks, I let it sit down and dry for about 2 to 3 days before moving on to the next stage on the body, and in the meantime I will be moving on to the interior and chassis modifications.